Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this one, I want to talk about the chip war. The chip war that is now taking place in the world. We can see these wars appearing and then receding and appearing again and receding. And mainly, I guess, this war takes place in Taiwan, yes, over Taiwan. So China and America, they're both fighting over Taiwan. And for a while, I never understood why are they both fighting over Taiwan, this little island, yes. I didn't understand why, yes. But after reading this book, I think this is a great book when it comes to current affairs. I understood why, yes, because Taiwan is where most of the chips are made, where most of the chips are manufactured, and it's well, when we start to think about Taiwan, it's such a small island. It has such a massive impact on the whole world, yes, and a third of the global supply is made in Taiwan. So Taiwan is a very important country, and obviously we hear propaganda from both sides. Yes, from America, from China. They both want to control this land mass, this island. But I don't think a massive war will erupt over this island. I think eventually, hopefully for all of us, yes. America and China can come to a diplomatic agreement, and or at least there will be a Cold War, like a really long Cold War taking place over there. So this is my prediction, but who knows what will happen? Maybe there'll be a massive war, yes, over this island. So I generally I don't really follow politics too much anymore. I don't like to follow politics too much because I noticed it has negative impact on my mental health. I don't. If you follow politics all the time, I think it's not conducive to you boosting your mental health. And this is why I avoid politics. Sometimes I check up on the political situation on Twitter. BBC News even. Well, I know we can't really trust BBC News, but sometimes I check BBC News. Sometimes I check Polish websites. Do Rzeczy, for example, is a Polish website that I read and check. But I've kind of left this world. I'm not part of this world anymore. I've noticed that politics is not my calling, because in the past I thought maybe politics is for me, maybe. But now I realise I don't really have the mentality of a politician. I think if I was to be involved in the world of politics, then probably in the capacity of a diplomat. Maybe this is the only area of politics that interests me, because diplomacy is so important. There's really in general there's a lack of diplomacy in the world. Of good diplomacy, because I think good diplomacy can really solve a lot of issues and a lot of unnecessary conflict. But yes. Anyway, let's get into the book now. So, The Chip War. It's a brilliant book by Chris Miller, and I'd just like to share a few thoughts and ideas about the book and what I learned. This video won't be long, 10-15 minutes I think maximum. And yes, the reason that China and America have this obsession over Taiwan is because Taiwan is responsible for over a third of the supply for computer chips. So obviously our modern world is our postmodern world. Our modern world is based on this computer revolution. We are living in the information age, as many people like to say. Yes, and obviously these chips are important because they are ultimately what power our computers. Yes. And in this book, I learned a few scientific terms. And for example, I discovered something called the Moore's Law. So, the Moore's Law is a law where every year or so, or every couple of years, there is a process which takes place whereby chips get smaller and smaller, yet also faster and faster at the same time, due to the increased number of transistors in a given chip area. So this law usually takes place. If we analyze recent history, this law has been regular. It has become a proven law. I don't know if this is the case anymore. Perhaps someone can comment who knows more about computing and computer science, etc. But this is apparently a law which is taking place, and yes, well, when we apply this law, Moore's law, to chips, for the USA, it's not an issue because the USA, I guess they have this scientific industry that allows them to design these smaller and smaller chips, which are at the same time faster and faster. Yes, so this is not an issue for the USA. But the problem is that the actual production of these chips it takes place in China. It's to produce these chips is so difficult. It's an unimaginably difficult process. When I was reading this book, I was in awe. Yes, what humans can achieve is crazy. This is all a human invention. Yes, is all of this is derived from human ingenuity, and now due to historical and economic factors, a third of the chips, a third of the global supply is made in Taiwan, and it's difficult to change because you can't suddenly move this industry somewhere else. It's difficult. So this is why Taiwan is important, and yeah, now I'd like to go into the complex process and machinery required to produce these chips. So what I found most interesting was the lithography tools, EUV lithography tools, and these tools are so expensive. So just getting these tools is hard for a given country. Any country that wants to get involved in this industry, it has to invest a lot of money, yes, in acquiring these tools, these EUV lithography tools. So therefore, automatically, a lot of companies and a lot of countries are blocked from even entering this market. It's hard for new companies and new countries to enter this market, which is why Taiwan has a monopoly, yes, to a degree, over this, has a monopoly to a degree over this, yes. And if a company would like to enter this market, it requires a lot of risk, yes, a lot of investment, a lot of risk, and still there's no guarantee that a given company or a country, a state private company will be successful, yes, because it took Taiwan so many years to reach the position it's in now, where it can provide and produce all of these chips. So I found this very interesting, and it clarified some aspects to geopolitics and international relations, because this is linked, yes, and this is why I read the book, because I'm interested partly in the world of international relations, yes. So what else did I find interesting here in this book? Well, the historical development of the microprocessor, and this was also an interesting part of the book that you can find. And Miller claims that Moore's law will no longer hold up soon, and I don't know. Again, I have no expertise in computer science, computing. I'm just approaching this topic from the geopolitical angle, I guess, and from the angle of history, economics, and geopolitics. Yes, so I don't know if this is true. Still, I mean, when I wrote this, so 2 years ago, over 2 years ago now, in 2025, I read information online that smaller chips will be produced. So this yes, perhaps this Moore's law is holding up, but we'll see. Yes, but the important distinction that Miller made in his book is that there will be customized chips for greater power for specific computing purposes, which perhaps will be smaller, even smaller, but then the chips we see now will remain the same in terms of size. And these chips will be used for general purposes, for I guess laptops, etc. Yes, so we won't see a change, I think, in this regard. So I guess this was interesting to note. Yes, that progress is not eternal. There is a limit, and perhaps in the long run, because the chips for general purposes will remain the same, perhaps other countries can get involved in the production of these chips. Yes, because they will become standardized, possibly. So other companies and other countries might get involved, might take part in this venture. Yes, have their share of the pie, maybe. So yes. Taiwan is an extremely important country, and now I understand why. Yes, and supply chains obviously play a role here, because everything is so interconnected now. Because China is dependent on these chips from Taiwan, America as well. I think that both America and China they don't want things to escalate so rapidly that these supply chains could be fundamentally disturbed. So I don't think there'll be a war there. There'll be tension, but there'll be like a cold war, I guess. And this is how the situation will remain. So anyway, yeah, that's the end of my video. It's a short one, 12 minutes. I don't want to spend more time on this because I don't know much about the issue. I just remember reading this book because it's about current affairs. It's about international relations, geopolitics. It's kind of linked to the subject of my channel, to my niche, and I recommend everyone to read it. It's a great book. I think it can clarify a lot, and the history, I guess, of the computing industry. It provides a history of the computing industry, which was well, for me it was interesting. So yes, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. It'll help me grow the channel and spread more vital information. If you like the video even more, consider donating at Buy Me a Coffee. I'll provide a link in the description. But yes, that's all for today. Once again, thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I appreciate you spending your time here on the JJ Think Tank, and I wish you all the best. Take care.